Well, production on South Africa's farms has dropped by a record figure as the drought bites deep into the country's economy. In the preliminary estimates of real gross domestic product (GDP) released by Stats SA yesterday, the contribution of the farming sector to the economy shrank by 8.4% in 2015. Well, this is the largest annual fall in agriculture production since 1995. Grain SA's Nampo Congress is currently underway in Bothaville in the Free State. The ongoing drought is one of the issues on the agenda. Mbali Sibanyoni has been covering that event for us. She joins us now. Mbali, no doubt farmers are desperate here, aren't they?
Yes, that's right, and that's why they've gathered here today. And of course, they are discussing a number of issues. This is mainly surrounding the drought. And we know that South Africa has seen the worst rainfall since 1904. And this has, of course, now affected farmers the most. Other issues that have been discussed here today are the financial implications, now asking banks to come on board and help out farmers, and of course, unemployment. And another factor that is quite important is the issues surrounding maize. Now we are joined by Grain SA CEO Mbali de Villiers. Now he will be telling us more about this. Now, Mbali, can you just let us know how hard has this drought hit farmers?
Yeah, I think it's almost like a dual system we've got in the east of the country. The maize crop looks average to, in some instances, even above average. But the problem that we have is in the west. The west is producing about 60% of our crop. They have early plantings, and those plantings got hurt by the heat, and there was a lot of damage on that. And then we had very late plantings in sort of the middle of January, where we've planted about 700,000 hectares on a very late stage of the season. And those maize, you know, driving here, we've seen that those maize are really suffering. They're still small, they haven't received proper rain, and I think within the next 5 days we will probably see them start dying. I'm not sure whether, you know, enough rain at the moment will recover them to the extent that we're going to see an increase in the crop estimate. We'll probably see the crop estimate being you know, reduced in the month to come.
Now we know that farmers have not been making money. Of course, this is because of the drought. Are banks now coming on board to help out farmers?
Yeah, we've made a call upon the banks and the other financiers to help the farmers, especially, you know, to extend their debt, and because they won't be able to have an income this year to pay back all those debts. So yes, and some of them indicated that they will help. However, we've made some calculations. There's about 450 farmers that might not be able to get a loan again for the next season, because then even if there's good rains, they won't be able to plant because they can't access finance. So this is one of the worrying factors for the commercial farmers. On our developing farmer side, obviously those guys are struggling as well. I mean, the drought is as severe on them, and I think for those who don't or can't be able to access finance, I mean, if they don't own the land, they don't have security, so they can't access loans. Some of them use their savings to plant, and then if you get a year like this, you know, it's basically devastating to them.
Another factor that is also affecting South African farmers is the issue surrounding maize. Are we in a position to currently import maize, and how much will this cost us?
Yeah, South Africa need to import a lot of maize. I think for the current season up till the end of April, we need to import more than 1 million tons of maize. We're busy doing that right now. But for the period from the 1st of May to April 17, we need to import something like 4 million tons of maize. Yes, the ports can do it. It's going to be a stretch. It is a big number because we haven't done it for a long time. You know, I think the big last imports was in '92. So I think for our infrastructure and logistics, the ports, those people are going to have to work very hard and very smart to make sure that there's enough food in the country. I don't think we expect any problems in the supply chain of food. There will be enough, but what we expect is that the food prices will be substantially higher than currently, and that's going to put a lot of poor people in trouble.
All right, thank you. Now, we do know that this conference is expected to take over 2 days. Tomorrow we will be hearing the resolutions. It's back to you in studio.
All right, thanks very much indeed, Sibanyoni, or rather Mbali Sibanyoni. She's coming to us live from Bothaville in the Free State there at the Grain SA conference. We'll take a look at more news after the break. Do stay with us.